Nothing like that in the forecast for us here, but we do have a different type of potentially dangerous weather on the way. We're talking about heat. As we take a live look, the sun shining down as Sail 250 continues here in Maryland. Looking at the inner harbor here, things are pretty quiet. They're warm, but it's going to get a lot hotter as we go into the later parts of the week. Let's head over here. Let's get into what is going on outside right now. Quiet conditions, yes, with sunshine, but then as we look toward Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, we've got daytime feels like temperatures, heat index values. That's once you factor in the humidity. Those numbers could get as high as 105 degrees to 110. What's going to happen is it's going to be so hot, so humid, you are not going to be able to sweat, and that sweat evaporates. So that's why it feels warmer, because your body cannot cool down. And we're not looking at very much relief as we go through the overnight. Overnight lows dropping down into the upper 70s to low 80s, and then we'll be watching, especially starting on Friday, the risk for some strong thunderstorms. Outside right now, high pressure in control. We are quiet. It's warm, yes, but certainly very normal type of day, feels wise, for what you'd expect this part of the year. So here's what's going on. Here's our heat dome that everyone's talking about. Notice all this quiet weather. That's because of high pressure. If you look to the north, right where we have this front going into Canada, that's where some of those storms are. They're riding right along. And if you even look over to the east here, you can see some of those storms down into areas of western North Carolina, down into the Carolinas and Georgia. So the storms are riding on the edge of what's called a ridge, which is just an area of high pressure. And you know, high pressure typically keeps us on the quiet side. Let's jump things ahead. This is Futurecast, but for feels like temperatures. Starting at 9 o'clock in the morning on Wednesday, our first alert day, we are already feeling like almost 90 degrees in some parts of the state. As we go to about this time Wednesday afternoon, notice some of these numbers: 101, 102, 105. Some of these numbers may be slightly overdone, but just know that that heat is in place Wednesday evening. Into Thursday morning, we could have feels like temperatures already pushing the mid-90s Thursday morning. So again, no relief in the overnight. And once again on Thursday, you're seeing those very high heat index values once again. But outside right now, it's warm, yes, but again, it feels like the end of June with temperatures right now in the 80s to low 90s. That muggy meter, it's going to be kind of going up and down, but even when it goes down, it's still very warm overnight. Tonight across the eastern shore, we're dropping things down into the low to mid 60s, maybe even a few areas right around 70 degrees right along the bay. And we've got the potential for maybe some fog once again for tonight going into tomorrow morning. Here's a look at that 7-day forecast. Notice our air temperatures. Kelly, we're talking about upper 90s to low and mid 100s. And again, that's before you factor in the humidity.
We've got to get ready. Thank you so much. On your